Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, I'm Renita Zeliya Khairani. In this video, I will discuss a case of problem that is currently happening. The end of 2021 is a year of concern in my opinion, especially for women, children, teenagers, and adults. The case that has attracted the attentions of wider community, even the word has attracted sympathy and is even said. I don't like his case, but I think it's very important to discuss. As a woman and young generation, I think it should be dealt with firmly. In the understanding of society in this country, women are often placed in the second positions. That women are figures who always have to be submissive and obedient in everything. Even in certain societies or circles, some values or customs that seems non-negotiable. This is right for women and that's right for men, which is natural and unnatural for women to do. This mindset greatly influences the public's view of decent positions for women, and it is not uncommon for women to become who are persecuted in society. The issues of sexual harassment in Indonesia has not become a priority to be discussed. It can be seen how our country sees the problem of harassment not inherently in a victim who is blamed. Either the victim is said to be, oh, maybe she's wearing worn clothes, or oh, she's not wearing a heat craft maybe. The number of cases of sexual harassment in public spaces that are not reported as cases of sexual harassment that occurs in public spaces and considered normal in society. There are still many people choose to remain silent when they ignore, or physically, where the victim feels embraced and she reports so she feels better to be silent, or has told her parents what they consider it a disgrace and better or force the marriage of both parties. Sexual harassment becomes more difficult to report and handle because it is often considered with the concept of public morality. Women are considered a symbol of the chastity and honor for themselves and their parents. Such a social stigma makes victims feel that silence is the right way because victims feel that if they speak up, they will be judged. In fact, the victims get sexual harassment where many experience conditions where they can only stay silent and cannot fight it because of the defensive reactions that appears biologically. This mindset of people who blame the victim is dangerous. It is still used. Unfortunately, in Indonesia, this mindset has grown and developed in society. Victims who should be protected are given assistance to recover their mental and physical morality after experiencing sexual violence, but instead become perpetrators in the eyes of the community whether they are blamed for clothes and others. And some cases of sexual violence in Indonesia are given resolved in a familial way, have married and victim to be perpetrators in order to cover up the family's disgrace. True, it can be a weapon of murder for victims. How not? Victims is forced to live with a predator that destroys her and she life. These actions can cause trauma for the victims and can cause the victims therefore surrender the rest of her life to the perpetrators. Therefore, we as a society must have a high tolerance. Those who are victims of sexual harassment are the same as other people who have the right to be respected and appreciated instead judged and covered. It can have a negative impact on the victim's physique and mentality. People who have a high tolerance must have a sense of wanting to help or help not even stay away or insult, because the victims really needs the embrace of the people around her so that his mental and psychology strength remains strong after experience and present sting. As we know that women are the ones who give birth to generations that will bring about change. The future of civilizations depends on how the next generations is important as the role of the woman. So it's not appropriate for a woman to be abused. Sexual harassment is a very scary cause for women. Sexual harassment that occurs and involves women makes women's self-esteem. provide the trauma for the victims affect psychology and mentality. Maybe they don't dare to talk openly about what happened to them or what they went through because they feel ashamed and afraid of the stigma that develop in society. Even talking to the close people like family, they are afraid. As a woman, I can feel how bad it is to be in that conditions. Harassment should not be taken lightly. The trauma experienced by the victims will be difficult for them to relive. What happens to them will continue to haunt them. The fear they feel will continue to haunt them. The Indonesian government is considered to have pointless attention to protections of women both in the public sphere and the society of punishment given to the perpetrators. In addition, the community itself needs to change its way of thinking in dealing with cases of sexual harassment. Instead of blaming the perpetrators, it's often the victims who is blamed. Whatever the reasons, women should not be raped and harassed. Instead, the victim should be given protections that cause or include. As a good society, we must be able not to judge and literally and not be assumed negatively toward victims or sexual harassment. So that when victims dare to speak out, sexual harassment cases will be easier to handle and will not happen every year. Okay guys, that's all from me. Hopefully it's usable. Let's say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.